Hi everyone. I wanted to walk you through the assignment for Perio. So we have this poster presentation assignment that is towards the end of the semester. You'll see it posted here in assignments. It's due week 12 in class. So this will be kind of like a science fair. We'll call it a Perio fair, where your posters will be presented around the classroom and we will do like walking tours of the presentation. Other faculty will be invited and we may invite other students, but at this point, definitely your peers will be assessing you. So you will have some peers that will have a sheet that will go around and ask questions and also assess you, and you'll get marks for doing that. With the poster presentation, you have an annotated bibliography, which we've already talked about and had Karen come in to talk to you about how to find some good articles. So that assignment is here, and we've talked about that. It's due week 5, but it is kind of part 1 of the poster presentation because you need to make sure that the research you're gathering and then annotating is going to be used in your poster project. So this isn't meant to be two separate things. It's meant to help inform your assignment so that you've already started the work. So you will do the annotated bibliography alone, and then after choosing your topic, and the topics are posted here, options for poster assignment. And then for the poster presentation, you will be able to work in groups or alone, that's up to you. So I'll pull up the assignment here for you to take a look at, and this will be posted for you all semester. And I do encourage you to start sooner than later. However, some of the coursework that we will be doing will help you with this assignment, so you will learn as you go in Perio and you can add to your assignment. So here's the assignment, and the rationale is that you will be collecting information as a dental hygienist that informs your diagnosis. Often the diagnosis is influenced by a client's medical history, namely systemic conditions. It is well documented that periodontal disease can have a bidirectional relationship with systemic diseases or conditions. To improve your knowledge of this relationship, you will complete a research poster discussing a systemic condition and its relationship to periodontal disease. Those topics are going to be here, posted for you as well. So diabetes, genetics, medications, osteoporosis, hormone fluctuations, hematological disorders, so leukemia, for example, immune system disorders, AIDS is an example, atherosclerosis, and cardiac conditions. There will only be so many posters of each kind, and there are groups in Blackboard for you to sign up on. So in a group of 2 to 3, or you can work individually on this, you are to gather research related to a systemic condition of your choosing. You'll research this using the articles that you're going to gather in your annotated bibliography plus more. So let's say you pick diabetes. You have to work with someone who is also doing diabetes. And then those people and their articles and your articles can be used together. Now, if you guys have chosen the same articles, then that will mean you only have 3 moving forward. You will need to find 6 to 7 more. You need to have 7 to 10 references total, but there will likely be 2 to 3 that are going to be the ones that inform your research the most. You can choose how to present your poster. It can be like a large PowerPoint type poster that you would see in the hallway that's near the clinic classroom. Those are PowerPoint posters. So those larger posters, they're fairly easy and inexpensive to make and print, and we do have printers at the college that do that. It can be a bulletin board. It can be something that you get at the dollar store that has the bifold or trifold on it. As long as it looks professional and is able to be presented well to others. As I mentioned, we'll walk around the room and assess them. The poster should address the following content as a minimum, but you can certainly add more to it. You should define the systemic condition, explain what periodontal disease from a clinical and histological perspective. So the textbook will be really helpful for that component. Provide research that links the systemic condition to the periodontal disease. So that's where you're going to look for those articles. Provide research that disputes or challenges this link. So there will be some articles out there that say, no, there is no link to diabetes and periodontal disease, or there is no link to AIDS and periodontal disease. You may not find a lot that disputes it, but try to look for something that does dispute that link and why they dispute it. Provide practice advice for dental hygienists with relation to the topic. So things that are practical that you could go back to your chair and use with your client. Provide a takeaway for us that are viewing your poster. So a brochure, a handout, a fact sheet, something that kind of summarizes what your findings were and that we could then use later. And then you can include a sample statement or dialogue for us as a dental hygienist to communicate with the client about the relationship. So something that really summarizes that relationship between their disorder and their periodontal disease. References we've talked about, there should be a variety of them. They should be peer scholarly reviewed. You should go to the Georgian College database first through the library to find these articles. Perio.org I've approved as a website you can also use, but I don't want you using Wikipedia or other just Googled websites. They need to really be with reference to Perio and be scholarly. As I said, no more than 10 worthy pieces of research. You could have 7. And again, if you're working with 3 people and each of you have found 3 different articles, then you'll already have your research. Now, if throughout the assignment you start to find that the papers that you originally used aren't as great as you had thought, then you will need to reassess that and let me know that when you hand it in. Now, the rubric is posted here as well for the poster presentation, and you can make sure you take a look at this so that you are going by this for your marks. So where will you get your marks and where should you focus? So expert is the column you really want to try to achieve, but proficient or novice are the other 2. So this one talks about presenting your research, that you have titles of the author and the paper, main points of introduction from the research that you found, that it's organized, that you're able to answer questions, that it's a visually appealing presentation, not cluttered, good font size, nice graphics, that the content is thorough, addresses the content that I had asked for, includes a superior takeaway for participants, and information for dental hygienists to apply in a clinical setting. Documentation needs to be done. Anything that's documented should be APA style, and you should have used peer scholarly reviewed work. No spelling or grammar, and peer feedback will be supplied. And so what was your average mark? That's what this is here. And so the peer feedback will be given to you that day, but I will post what that peer assessment looks like. And let me just find it here for you now so that you know what you're looking at. So for peers, they will, and you will be a peer for someone else's poster, upwards of 3 posters, and this is what we're looking at. So did it include what it was supposed to include? Did you define the systemic condition? Is the data presented? Is there a takeaway? Was it useful information? Did you answer questions clearly? Is the poster attractive? And then you would, as the assessor, say something you learned and something you might suggest. And that's at a 28. That is basically the assignment in a nutshell. If you have any other questions, please ask. We'll also talk a little bit about it in class, but I will leave these instructions up for the semester so you can go back to it at any point and listen to them again in case you forget anything. So again, week 12 is when that's due, but your annotated bibliography is due first. That's individual. Poster presentation is done with other people or on your own if you prefer. Now, when you are choosing your groups, you will need to go into groups because, as I said, I don't want 20 people doing diabetes. I want a nice variety. So when you go to tools and then you go to groups, you will see that there will be groups set up. And the groups will look like this: afternoon poster presentation or morning poster presentation. So pay attention. It'll say poster topic or poster presentation, and then it'll say which topic. So hormone fluctuations, immune system disorders, and so on. There's only so many slots in each group. So make sure that you have chosen your group correctly before you sign up so we don't have issues. A bunch of you can't go into different groups to hold those spots because then you're stuck there. So make sure you're doing it properly. There are a couple of cardiac conditions, a couple of diabetes per class because those ones are a little bit more relevant and easier to find information on, I guess, for a lot of hygienists. So those ones I have done a couple of double groups. So please make sure you fill in all the groups. All of the topics are interesting. And as I said, I don't want everybody doing diabetes because that doesn't help us learn anything new. So when you sign up for the group in here, that means that's your topic. If you have any issues or questions, let me know. Email me. Thanks.